All right, guys. Of course, yesterday was disappointing. Very good Ravens teams done a fantastic job over the last 11 weeks. Took advantage of our mistakes that we made, what good teams usually do. Um, Especially at the end of the half, the first half, they took advantage of that, and we were never really able to recover. Um, we know it's been a disappointing season up to this point for our fans. Uh, Hopefully, we learn from our mistakes moving forward and become a better team because of it in all areas. Offensively, we weren't able to sustain enough drives on third down, convert third down. I think we were 3 out of 12 on third down. And then we lacked producing the big plays from the standpoint of what we did at the first time we played them in Baltimore. Defensively, it was the exact opposite. We weren't able to get off the field on third downs. We allow them to make big plays, and that was ultimately the difference in the ball game. Special teams, I thought we did a good job covering kicks consistently, physically, and of course we need to make that extra point. We've got a lot of things we can learn from yesterday moving forward, and continue to work this week and to get the desired result at the end of this week. So, any questions?
If there is one thing, what's the most disappointing aspect of this? I know it's you're judged on the record and all, but beyond that, what hasn't gone the way you had hoped it would?
Well, I think this is a result-oriented business, and sometimes you're only judged off the results. A lot of times, but I do feel like we've made progress. We've done enough things to learn from our mistakes moving forward. Offensively, defensively, special teams, coaching, playing, everything. We've been in some situations during the course of the year that our guys have not ever been in. And I think we can grab a hold of that and get better from that moving forward. And the next time we're in some of these situations, we'll be better.
I know it's really easy to second guess. What do you wish you could have back from yesterday?
Me personally, I wished I could have had back, right before the half. I think that put us behind the 8 ball a little bit, and we weren't able to recover. I like to have total confidence in our players to execute, and give Baltimore credit. They made the plays right there, and we didn't get the clock started. When it got to third down, I should have started the clock. I should have ran the ball and just started the clock. But I had confidence that, it was easy completion. They made a good play. Getting their hands up.
The 3 and out is what you were talking about?
Yes.
What about the 31, Freddie?
That's a shot. You either look like an expert, or you look like a goat. I look like a goat. So, we took a shot. I wanted to remain aggressive during the whole game, and that was one of those things that didn't work.
It seems to me like when things start to go bad, that these guys don't really know how to react. So my question to you is, when you go into the season next year and that situation happens, how will this help you in the next year?
I think that's an excellent question, Jeff. And I would say this. I think as many times you put someone in a situation, they have to get better at it. I think we reacted better yesterday to some of it than we did earlier in the year. I think that's an excellent point. And every time you experience something new, you learn from it. And I think our guys have done a good job of learning, staying focused. I thought that the one thing they did last week was excellent, that I commended them for today, was they stayed focused during the course of the week and blocked out the noise from the Arizona game. And stayed focused and really went out and put their best foot forward. Played with tremendous effort and enthusiasm in a big-time environment for us. I know a lot of people didn't realize it, but for us, we still had belief and hope. So I thought those guys did a great job, excellent job during the course of the week of just staying focused on the task at hand. And that's one thing that we've learned throughout the year. That's the only thing you can control. And sometimes you don't get that experience until you go through it. And I think those guys, with all these instances, they can learn from it moving forward. Individually, collectively, players, coaches, together, all those things.
Do you think the same thing applies to you, Freddie, being a first-time head coach? And where do you think you've, grown in these 15 games?
Well, listen, I truly feel like I'm my worst critic. Whether we win or lose, I try to critique myself. I feel like I got people around me that if I ask them a question, they will answer me honestly. A lot of times, as the head coach, you can't get honest feedback. And I think that's a benefit that I have here. I get honest feedback when I ask certain people questions. But yeah, every time I go through something new, I learn from it. And my learning progress is continuing to go upward. I think when you get into a situation where it goes downward, then you're in trouble. So, I feel like every situation I've gone into, I've learned something with.
Yesterday, it looked like you were going to go for it on fourth down early in the game. There was some confusion. You guys weren't lined up. You had to call timeout. A week before Arizona, after a kickoff, kind of same thing, you had to call timeout. Why is that stuff still happening late in the year? Why has that not been ironed out yet?
Yesterday was simply we had just thrown a pass down the field. I think Rat went off the field. We called the personnel grouping, went on the field. We had another receiver substitute in for him, thinking he needed a blow because he was down the field. We weren't going to go for it. We were trying to draw him off sides, and it didn't really matter.
And then the week before, the Arizona game, it just seems like there are a lot of times where the clock is winding down on you guys, trying to get the play in, trying to get the snap.
I think one thing those guys got better at this week was getting in and out of the huddle in a timely manner. They did a better job of getting lined up where they're supposed to do. I don't think that was the one instance yesterday. I think it was just a substitution error. That's all.
Play Jake's talking about. Why not just take the delay game penalty as opposed to using a timeout?
Well, because we had not to get too much into scheme, we had a situation where we were going to go for it if they'd lined up in a certain look. So I didn't want any confusion to be made. I just wanted to get everything back under control at that point. It was better given the potential disaster of the outcome. That was it.
Run some hurry up in that last half of 2018, and that worked. How come you haven't used that much?
We develop a plan every week to try to give us the best chance to win, and it's always in the potential to have it in. It goes down to execution from the standpoint of whether you're in the huddle or not in the huddle. And we did a good job on our no huddle offense yesterday. So, in hindsight, may have should have used a little bit more of it.
The running game very effective yesterday. Was it their front or your front, I guess?
I think at the end of the day, the game's about blocking and tackling, and we just didn't block them well enough, and we didn't run well enough. I thought we did a good job from the standpoint of getting on them, but creating movement, I don't think we did a good enough job, and I think everybody would attest to that.
How frustrating is it when you guys start out so great, you have the big play to Odell, and then it goes back the other way, with the taunting penalty, especially given your struggles, playing the team that you were, and it seems like that's emblematic of a lot of things that have happened this year with some of your guys. What kind of message does that send, and what do you make of all that?
Well, I think you have to, and the holding penalty, the second play of the game was a huge play too. But we have to continue to try to play with our composure. I'll let you be the judge on the other stuff. I don't know. I know Odell's done that before and nothing's been called, so I don't know. That's their decision to make. I know that we need to eliminate all room for error when it comes to, we allow them the possibility of throwing a flag whenever we do things like that, and I think Odell's learned from that.
What kind of feedback have you gotten from John or Dee and Jimmy about the job you've done this year?
I think, I'm focused on doing my job right now, and I think that's where they want my focus, I've not gotten anything but total support from those guys, and, they want me doing my job, and that's what I'm trying to do on an everyday basis.
Do you ask for assurances that you'll be back next year?
No, I got assurance when I got hired, and no, I haven't and won't. I don't know how to answer that. It's just I'm doing my job today, and I'll continue to do the best job I can possibly do.
So when you say say assurance, you mean that he would be given more than one season? Is that what you mean by that?
Well, I don't. You have to ask him what he meant by it. I just know I haven't asked for.
He'll be back next year.
Yeah, I haven't asked that. I'm worried. I'm truly, fellas, I truly worry about today, and get better today. We've got a game on Sunday that we've got to start getting ready for. Usually about 2:00 every Monday, so that's the only thing I'm concerned about.
So just on that though, Freddie, when you said earlier that there's people that you talk to, I think that, to get honest feedback.
Yeah.
And so I'm not asking you, so you asked about your job. So what kind of feedback do you look for when you talk to John or whoever it might be?
It could be dress for travel, or it could be something about a situation. It could be anything. It's just, I made a joke back in the spring about everybody around here is very, very supportive. All right, this is I couldn't have wished for more support than we've gotten in everything that we do. So everybody in this building, I think, is pulling toward the same direction. And we're close in a lot of areas now. We're really close, and sometimes that gets lost in the shuffle. But we know how close we are. Our players understand how close we are. Our players understand how they could do better. Coaches understand how they could do better. And whenever we get those things flipped, it will change. And everybody in this organization has been nothing but total support. And so it could be anything, Jeff.
It's no secret that this place has burned through head coaches over the years, including the recent years. How important do you think it is to have continuity going forward, especially at the head coaching position? And do you feel like that this team can grow around you going forward as you learn how to be head coach, this being your first year?
Well, we've got a young core here that's experiencing life in NFL for the first time, first couple years, navigating through expectations that sometimes the outside puts on you. And I think we've done a better and better job of that during the course of the year, realizing what those, how you temper those expectations. But that's, Jake, you're asking about something that's out of my control. I'm just trying to do my job,
Couple more. Normally a first-year coach isn't asked all these questions, and there isn't so much focus on job security for a first-year coach.
Yeah.
Do you think about how you're in a different position? I know it's no surprise to you, but just because of the talent here.
Yeah, I think there's really no win for me to answer that question, but I would say those questions stem more from you guys asking the questions, and you rightly should ask. I'm not trying to say that. It's just I only concern myself with the job I'm doing and how I get this football team to play well on Sunday. And that's truly the only thing I worry about. And that's it. I don't care about the speculation. I don't care about anything that's out of my control. I only care about the things I can control, and that's how I approach my job today and how I get my team ready to play on Sunday.
Do you feel like keeping play calling duties throughout the season was the right decision?
Well, I think every decision I make, is made in the best interest of this football team. And, I'm never closed-minded on anything. It's just this is what I felt like gives us the best chance to win right now.
When you talk about how close you are you talking about just winning or going to the playoffs, or is it the whole thing? Or?
Just winning in general. And if you win enough, you go to the playoffs. And we didn't win enough this year. We still had a chance yesterday. We had a chance to win the game, and we didn't make enough plays to win the game. We had, I think, 7 big plays, the way we classify big plays against Baltimore the first game, gave up 4. Yesterday it was flipped. We got 3, we created 3, and we allowed them to get 7. So at the end of the day, that's the difference in the game.
Good. Can I ask you about the third one more time?
Which one?
The third and one halfback option?
Yeah.
Was that supposed to go to Ricky Seals Jones, and did they just cover it?
We had a couple of different options on that play, and without giving any schematics away. Now, I don't know when we'll run it again, but, you know.